Andrea, she's trading. GRWG.
Hello, everyone. Wild markets, crude's making new highs. I'm joined with Mike Venezia. And
Morning.
Mike really took some nice trades today, very contrarian. I just want to show the crude chart and show that a lot of people had objectives, Elliottians up around 125 to 130. I'm not saying this is a final high, but I'd be, Mike's taking advantage of this. And you look at the 4-hour chart, we're not confirming the high. You look at the 15-minute chart, and we're not confirming. Yesterday's high was, if you notice, we haven't taken out a prior low. So we start trading back under this prior high, 126. That's going to be a pretty good signal. And then I also wanted to show what Mike did in Newmont. Newmont's been the best of breed, as Mike says, across the board, all the way up. Tremendous move, skyrocket. Mike took a short over 80. You prove once again that your timing is pretty good, Mike. I mean, this has been a hell of a ride to the upside, but you smell something as far as it being overdone. And earlier you were saying that oil was holding the S&Ps hostage. And if it just came off a few bucks, we get a rally. And that's ensuing as well. We have S&Ps moving up. So nice timing on a lot of your trades today, Mike. Do you think this is going to turn into just a day trade, or could we get something special out of the S&Ps here?
Well, as I said before, and I'll show my trades is here, not that it's good and bad. And I'll show you the time. As a matter of fact, as we're looking, and I don't want to be rude, I'm looking at the screen. I'm thinking I'm trying to take some off right now. And I'll reevaluate after. And the reason why I'm taking some off now is they made a big move.
Yeah.
In this type of market, when you have these type of reversals and they hit your price targets, and with the VIX at this, some things hit my price target. I don't trade if you're trading this market, and we've been doing it for a while, Coach, you know better. If you're trading this market upon your P&L, I mean, then you're just basically gambling. And I'm not, listen, look at Freeport McMoRan. Look at this now, it's positive. I'm saying that, I have price targets. I had, when we say all the time that it's not really that we have a better style than anybody else. It's maybe we trade our style better. What I'm doing poorly right now is we're all around it. As you can go into TradeGATEHub and even look at the past videos this week, going back all time if you want.
Why don't you take over the screen now, partner?
Yeah, hold on.
I'm going to stop sharing here.
I'll be right there. Let me do some adjusting here. Look at this. The market was a good time to adjust that pullback. Hold on a second.
By the way, I like your office. Looks good.
It does look good. You know what? It was somewhat reminiscent of the office that Tim and I had in Schoenfeld when we were young pups back in the day. Okay, so I'll show my screen and let me go to TradeGATEHub first of all.
Okay.
And then we'll go into some charts. Just because I want everybody to. I stopped apologizing for this a while ago. Where's the share screen situation?
It's a lower. Scroll underneath the screen, you'll see the green box, share screen. Lower part of the screen.
Yeah, lower part of the screen. I'm right here.
See where they pop up, share screen,
I think
chat, participants, bottom part of the screen.
I apologize. I'm at the bottom. I can't see the thing. Regardless.
So move your mouse.
Okay, this is it. There it is. I'm sorry. Okay, let's go to share screen and more importantly, let's go to TradeGATEHub. I apologize. I'll make it up to everybody. All right, this is the routine. All right, and it's a routine, as we say all the time, not to be redundant. I'm not going to pontificate. And the one thing that I will be redundant and say again is that, I always use the analogy to athletes. You know what I mean? Nobody really likes to scrimmage. Even when I was growing up, nobody likes to practice. But like I say, there are. everybody practice, 8, 10 hours a day for 5 days a week, 60 hours a week to maybe an hour a game at best. So it's all about preparation, because once 9:30 comes or whatever you're doing, you can't just listen. We're going through the routine, and that's why we're going to do it in TradeGate Hub right now. So this is how I sign in the market. It's the same for everybody else, if you will. I haven't I don't have a lot of windows open. I just want to get to the point. Okay, this is what I do. I sign at the TradeGate Hub, and it's a process. And it's just like how I said, athletes. If you go to basketball players, two guys form layup lines, and they hit layups. LeBron James has hit 4 bazillion layups in his life. He could do it. So what I'm saying is, they still do it to get the muscle memory going. So when it comes to game time, we can execute. And that's why we post the routine every day on TradeGate Hub every day. I'm in the stocks industry room, if I can digress. But this is let me pause this. This is what I post every morning. And I really, really try to be consistent, because A, I know that's key into doing anything well. And B, just because I don't, it's just you'll get the picture. So always watch the videos I post. We post a macro view of the market a couple of times a week. Market sentiment, this is on the short term. To no surprise that follow us, this is where we were on a short-term base. It doesn't mean to go all in. I'm not saying to even use that word in an egregious manner on the long side. Maybe you want a shorter rally. That's depending upon the rotation, which we'll look in a second. And that was prevalent more than ever today.
In fact, Mike, what I heard yesterday from a lot of analysts that look for that capitulation move and check off boxes like put call ratios and other measures that say that there's been a capitulation, even though we were down hard yesterday, none of those boxes were checked.
That's correct. I agree. I do agree. I don't listen. I got, when I was on the air, I was listen, I might leave some things on the table, and come 4 o'clock, I might be a little bit upset. I don't know if upset's the word. I'd be, you know what I mean? Whatever. It doesn't look like it now, by the way. Giddy up. But what I'm saying is, with the VIX this high, my greatest acumens are, I'm a very, very good day trader. I hate to say it. It is what it is. It's like being an ambulance chaser as a lawyer. But the numbers I put up, I can't apologize. Let's be honest. And I'm also a person that puts money to work in a fund. The swing trading is the swing trading has been hurting all of us, if you will, because there have been very, very few reversals. And these parabolic moves have been carrying a lot of people out. Oil, nickel, if you will, even to the downside. The XBI label, we took a position in right before I came on the air. So
they've actually canceled contracts on the LME, canceled trades. I know they can raise margins and have liquidation only, but it's the first time in my career, and I've been around a couple years, that I've ever heard of contracts being canceled.
Yes, no, I mean, first of all, like we always say, and I want to get down to specific trades, because we're here to really execute in a fast market. But these things never get old, and I'm not going to apologize for it. But you're seeing things like I've never seen. That's what you say. You've been around how many years? I've been around passionately, not a lot of years. But it is what it is. And when you have people, when I'm saying things that I've never seen, when you hear Jim Cramer, and it's all over when I post all the time here, this tech pullback is even worse than the dot-com bubble, because the dot-com bubble, arguably, by the way, at least there were companies that didn't make sense and they were but these are a lot of companies that still make sense, that are still 90% from the highs. This isn't, well, I'm not going to use, whatever, it's not a dot-com. So let me get back to here. Fear and greed over time, this is where we are for fear and greed. The NASDAQ futures, we came in this morning, we were overbought, same thing. It's up to you if you want to short the rally, try to pick the bottom. There's still a lot of red on my screen. Square, after a move, is up 40 cents, big deal, you know what I mean? After getting destroyed, for lack of a better term. So this is where S&P futures are. This is what I always say for you. This, by the way, is the issue, isn't it, Coach? The credit default swaps, right?
Yes.
That's what the excuse or the propulsion to move the markets for the past month, 3, even 6 months, if you will, has always been the gamma. I'm not even posting it that much anymore. This is what I'm posting. So, I'm not saying I'm late to the game. There has been some delayed reactions in the majority of the commodities. And the reason why I think they went so parabolic is they were so delayed that people took positions that they were showing somewhat, oil was showing some relative weakness, or some of the stocks to a degree, weren't they, Coach?
Yeah.
I mean,
2 months ago, before the
towards
war.
what type of news that the market was saying,
The
everybody
war
knew.
changed everything, Mike. I mean, you can just go back 2 weeks and look at your charts and see what happened in 2 weeks. Maybe
Well,
the
believe me, I
stock
will.
market has handled the impact of it, but moves in metals, moves in the dollar, moves in energy, moves in every commodity. They call it the shortage of everything. And what did you say today when I posted the shortage of everything?
Well, the only thing that we're short of, the only thing that's not short of in the world is ideas of DGH.
There you go.
Not even funny. I can guarantee there's one thing that you guarantee is not a shortage of that right there. By the way, I'll get into another personal story another time. All right. So this is the real underlying issue, by the way. And I would urge anybody that's not, it's cerebral reading, but it is the issue. So it's our job. So read about what's going on with the credit default swaps. I'll post more about that. And there's the gamma versus the dark pools. And dark pools, actually, they sold a lot yesterday, which led me to a little bit concerned, by the way. Helene, she's right on the money, as you even noted. There's okay, and that was, get back to that in a second, because you can go back to TradeGATEHub and pause it. So you have to look at that. But the fear and greed index, the CNN index, and by the way, we've been around a long time. I'm not fearful. I'm not fearful at all. I don't see that there's fear. I see that there's move predicated upon commodities, but I don't, in terms of money to work, the Goldman position indicator that we always post here. I mean, they're not, it's not capitulation. The VIX is only at 36. I don't think that's fearful what considering on. There's the Goldman indicator. They're underfunded. I mean, they got money to put aside, so it's yet to be determined if it's still going to go into commodities or not. And here's the weekly advisor sentiment. You can go back to 2004 about how bearish people are.
Who's long? Hedge funds aren't long. No, who's long? Besides us on a few things. I mean, really, what group of market participants are long this market? It seems like people are either out or short, and not early. They're initiating, liquidating late.
I just think of what I hear, that stocks going down, and they have been going down precipitously, have been binless. And I just think it's a lack of conviction on both sides. It's evidence, it's just, I guess, thinner volume and coming up into there's just everybody's crowded into one sector. And that's the commodities right now. And when I say bidless, I'll even go to my page right now. Let's look at my mean universe, if you will.
So, Mike, maybe it's going to take a ceasefire in Ukraine to get at least a relief rally that could turn into something else. What do you think?
Absolutely. Look at the move in CF today. I mean, this could be breaking a new high. They would give you one trade. The stock went from an ag play, went from 91 to 9. And look at Moss. So I'm saying to myself yesterday, I was the guy that was trying to pick Moss. Actually, I did pick Moss up, if you remember. I made like $1.50, big deal. So I looked today, and Moss, from a high of 100, look at Moss, I'm sorry. From Moss went from 64 to 56, $8.50 within probably 2 trading hours. And I'm saying to myself, I'm the guy that had it, once it broke yesterday's open, I'm the guy that had it, once it did that head and shoulders top. I was shorted from like 62, and I covered it like from 62, 90, from 61, 12. And I took I had the hard money. I had a lot of shares on it. Don't get me wrong. The stock is trading 8 million, 10 million a day. But then I look at it this morning, I'm like, it's 57, and I went through all that pain from 61, and I saw this morning it's 57. So I don't feel that bad right now. It's up on the day. So you have to take these type of moves.
You really have to be quick on the trigger to book partials.
The good thing about it is why we're here. The stock is trading 10, 12 million a day. But we're going back at 10:30 a.m. This is 10:30 yesterday. This is 64. This is 10 o'clock this morning, 56. You got an $8 move on a stock that's trading 12 million. And it's smooth. It's not even that, it's trading in channels. You know what I mean? So it's not like you get, it's, by the way, the best thing about this, about all this, is it's trading together with a group. Here's my eggs. BTU, MOS. Look at this NTR yesterday, if you remember, short from 101 yesterday. NTR. and I was short yesterday from it. So the stock is, I mean, these are, these are moving together and they're moving in groups. Mara, I couldn't wait. So this is it. Square. So the bottom line is, Fizzler, now run. Now the Solars had a delayed reaction. Here's Solar. Now this doesn't look like much, but from 25 to 30 in 3 days is a lot. EMPH, which is always the best of breed, no one wanted it. Went from 120 to 178. That's in a week and a half. 124 to 170. Now it's testing the 200-day, probably rests and probably even rips. That's all. So I don't know if I'm going from different type of tangents.
No, that's okay. I mean, anything alternative to oil is getting a bid. Uranium's getting a bid because people are going to have to change their plans. This ESG stuff has put us.
True.
Putin's exploiting us.
It has.
So,
I don't even have it on my screen. I deleted it. Even before it was I'm still the guy that throws like the cigar on the street and puts, what I mean? I still litter and stuff, so I'm not even an ESG guy at this point. But let me hold on if I'm still sharing here. Yeah, I think I am.
So these fertilizer stocks or ag stocks, Mike, there's ongoing news about people halting shipments of fertilizer as well. They say that if Ukraine doesn't plant in the next 3 weeks, how are they going to plant? They're 20-30% of the wheat supply in the world.
Well,
so how are they going to plant in between missiles?
This is I just think right now, this is what it all boils down to two philosophies, and it's not quantitative. It's how these stocks are reacting towards news that should keep them going higher. When stocks react positively to bad news, that's the tip. That's the tell. And you would have to think with Biden, with the news of shutting off also go to TGH right now, and I'll say it.
This would be a classic news event for oil to peak on, because this has been in the background for a while that we're going to stop importing Russian oil. So that would be kind of a classic type of topping day when we finally go to that extreme.
Oh, look at this. You know what? It's the class. They're going back. It's like I said. When you look at these, listen. I'm going down to price action where the money is. That's like I said, I'll leave that to the pros. You're the pro. When I'm looking at the stocks like the INDO, if I'm going back to a chart here, if I may, and this is how I gauge it. So when I see INDO, which was the low float special oil spec stock, go from in 2 days, go from 25 to 85. Now it came back basically on a little bit of volume, but granted, naturally it's skewed. But you're going to see how this plays out. And when you look at the low floater, and when you look at Chevron, which by the way, we did this all, the relative strength with my greatest point this week has been these stocks can stay way above the euphoria in relative. If I was trading on RSI, Coach, if we were trading on RSI, and I like to trade on it, wouldn't we be buried in this?
Yeah. Because you had a nice divergence before the blow off move, and the blow off negated the divergence, and it's at new highs with.
Let's go to a weekly RSI, relative strength on USO going back till 2018, and we've been through a lot of things since then: disease, presidencies, geopolitical, change of guards, and the RSI historically has been the highest at, what is this number here? This blue right here.
It's probably 85 or so up there.
What's the RSI? It's 82.
Okay.
And now the RSI is 86. But the only difference, let me make another trading point, the difference between RSI and 82 and 84, let's go to the USO, is a difference of, if you started shorting this thing at 83 to 87, that's a big move on USO. Forget about the smaller one. So, and here's the RSI on the USO daily. So if listen, I want to make another point. We're active and we have a thick skin here, like I say on TGH. And I've been trading these things. I've been trading it positively. Here's my trades on USO today. If I can go to my charts, chart trend lines. Hold on. I'm not married to the thing. I'm just trying to take money out of the market like I want. I'm shorting it on the way up, and I was wrong. Shorting it from 86 to 87. I finally took off all the trades at 86. I broke even on it. What I lose? I was short a lot of it. I lost $600 on it or whatever. Let's look at Newmont, another one that I did the opposite with. Newmont, okay, I'm shorting it. Started. Oh, by the way, let me go to the long term. And if I started shorting Newmont even on RSI, or let's look at even the triple ETFs, the nougat of gold, and you even went upon RSI there. There's your all-time RSI going back here, and the RSI was what? This RSI is what, 88, and now it's on nougat, the triple ETF, it's 79. But the difference there is it's $12. So Newmont, I just took a trade on. I saw things turning. This was getting a little bit crazy. I went to the weekly. Okay, it got in. I don't know. Maybe it's I don't know what I did. Maybe it's timing. So I started shorting Newmont a little, as I said in the room, a little above the whole number. I know it's a heavy, thick stock. I don't think it's a low floater. So I know I got a little bit of option with there. Right, Coach? I got option playing there. So I started Newmont maybe what do you say, like 80-16?
Yes.
And then my last trade on Newmont was like 80-43, my short. All right, so my average is what, 80-20? And right become on the air, I got it at 78.40. So I mean $2.50. I mean almost $2 on the short. So I don't know what I'm going to do next. I think I have 400 short left. It's my little bit of a feeler. I don't think it's over. I don't think it's the blow off, but it might pull a CF, and maybe tomorrow open down $1.50. So I at least have a little bit. I'm not saying it's the top. So there was one of my trades.
Nice.
Coles, another one. Where is it now? Okay, I'm buying Coles all day long. All day long, I'm buying Coles. Buying Coles at 51.10, selling it at 52. I'm buying Coles 51, buying Coles 51. I came off the air. I'm selling it 53.67. You know what I mean? That's a $2 move on Coles. Took some nice money in that today. 6,000.
The retailers, they've been doing pretty good. What's the rationale behind retailers' rebound here in the last 3-4 weeks?
I don't know. Well, let's look at the videotape, as Warner Wolf said. I had Macy's overnight, by the way. That was a contra trade. I couldn't wait to sell it. I made a half point. This is where I'm selling Macy's, 21.90. Went to 23. I had a lot of it, by the way. I don't know why, Coach. I don't know why. It should be down. Look, I also noted airlines were strong. I don't know. Maybe it's the department stores. It's certainly not Walmart and Target. It's certainly not Chewy. It's the department stores. It's Macy's. It's J-Win. It's Dillard's. DDS, by the way, which was the low float special. I don't know if Dillard's usually goes up. J-Win has been hanging in there after it got blown. I mean, J-Win has some bottom. I don't know.
People are tired of shopping online, Mike. They're going out. They want to go to the brick and mortar.
Gap stores. There's the resumption. That had good numbers. But you know what? Gap stores I'm embarrassed even bringing it up, but maybe
Gap stores left a big gap between 22.5 and 20.
Hey, you know what?
They really are a Gap store.
No, I don't know. My wife shops there, not me. On her allowance, she can only afford Gap. I'm only kidding. So by the way, GM, let me go to TGH for a second. I don't want to be facetious.
So they're getting on the autos, Mike, because of a nickel shortage. Very important part of manufacturing autos, especially I believe EVs.
Right. Well, that's also nickel going up also affects Tesla. There's my Newmont trade. I showed a little bit of, but I want to talk about the GM trade. Chart of JP Morgan. Hold on a second. Oh, I want to look at another stock. It reminds me.
Yeah, yields are up a little bit today. Are the banks trying to hold here?
No. The key right now is there's two key banks right now. Trust me, I said buy General Motors this morning. I want to find it. You know what? Just like a trade. Next, I'll look at what's the question, Coach?
About the nickel, and the autos were under pressure because of supply constraints to manufacture.
It should hurt Tesla because when nickel goes up, it's a major component of the battery. Tesla's a major component, but you know what? Just like I said before, you got to see how it acts to the bad.
And lithium has been exploding to the upside too. So
and here's LAC. Here's the best of breed battery maker, LAC. Here's lithium. ALB is the world's best maker, lithium maker. There's ALB. So there's ALB might be a bottom here. I like that.
Hanging on.
To do something. What did Lewis ask before? PPG? Was it PPG? What's our PPG doing? PPG. Did Lewis ask about PPG? And what's the other one? APD, the chemicals product. We talked them out of the loser. Remember the other day?
Yeah.
We talked them out of these PPG and AP. Oh, let me go back to the screen. So what do I foresee from here? I see the little, I want to see Square not doing anything. I want to see Apple. I want to see Microsoft, just like I said in TGH. These are the ones I wanted to see. Everything that's moving, Fizzler, Plug, they're speculative people that are moving to a degree like me. Does anybody really going to step in and say Macy's has hit the bottom right here below all the moving averages? No. But, like I said, what happens in JP Morgan, where the big money is, and that's a big gauge. What happens in Apple right now, I mean, that's testy. What happens in this one?
I know a lot of guys are looking for Apple to take out its 200-day,
And you know what? I a gun to my head, and I'm looking for Citibank. You know what I mean? Citibank tried to go. You know what I mean? Just the opposite of the RSIs on Citibank. This might be pinned below 20 for another week, and now you're going to be trying to getting out of this thing. And A, you're going to be beating up your buying power, and B, you're going to miss other opportunities. So just try to take the moves in the rotations. If you're, like I say, all here, this is our room here. This is like a med school. It's up to you. You want to become the podiatrist, the brain surgeon, pick your style. Like I'm telling you, the info that we give you here and what we do in terms of you doing currencies and macro views on currency on it, basically everything, and me being all around it. And all around it, by the way, I mean by this. Hold on a second. And having an opinion is this. Hold on.
actionable.
It's right there. Hold on. Share. Let me share a screen right here. And what to do with this, the top list. And we'll leave it there, if you will, is when there's stocks with range, ENSV, and this MARP S is one of these oil stocks. The stock's got 14,000% volumes on a major range with a $10 move. Trade it. You have to be in it. Campbell's Soup, even if those that are faint and shy, Campbell's Soup is down 6%. Tells me something on the macro view of the market. Chevron has a 200% range with 85% volume, still at 11:30 Eastern, basically near the high GLD. By the way, let's even INDO. Let's go to this. This tells you right here, TTD. So let me just give an example. TTD has 61% volume, good range, and is moving. Just let me tell you what I'm doing today. It doesn't mean I'm giving an opinion on TTD, because I'm not. But, and I'll leave it at this, and I don't want to keep saying that, is here's my screen sharing, TTD. I'm trading it. I'm trading TTD today. There's my trades. At least I'm in it. You know what I mean? Here's the chart of today. And I do like it for the longer term. I think it is a best of breed, but I'm trading it here, buying and selling it. All right, I got out. I didn't like the way it was acting. Then I started buying it again at the 61.20, right before we got on the air at 63.20. It's a $2 move, and I'm all out of it as it breaks low. So by the way, I am going to start looking. I mean, it is getting a little bit ridiculous. Let me clear this right here. On the long-term chart, don't get me wrong. But you know what? I'm going to have to step in 200 shares at a time as I look at the weekly and everything. So this is my line in the sand, and maybe, the $50, $60 level. But my point being is that with your macro view and me trying to interpreting all these type of moves, bullish strategy, stocks moving right now. What's moving changing the last 10 minutes right here. CCJ's moving up in the last near minute. That's a uranium near the high. Nougat. So I know, you know what I mean? That's all I'm going to say. So I'll leave it at that.
Okay, Mike, really nice. Really appreciate you stepping away from your focus on the markets to share with our community everything you're doing almost every day. So really, and nice scalps. Those were not easy scalps. A lot of people would have said, how could you consider shorting a gold stock on a day like this, or oils? So I keep an eye on the oil here, Mike. I think that the news of us finally making the decision to ban Russian oil imports is kind of the news that markets could at least set temporary highs in. So
right, and you know what? In this type, let me go back to TGH. In this type of market with the VIX this high, you're not going to catch everything. And this is the type of market where you can make, okay, for the more experienced, if you will, maybe you want to step up your size with fewer positions and hone in on where to move on. A winner, first of all, a winner is usually a winner when you put it on right away. It's amazing how usually once they start working within whatever your time frame is, a winner is a winner, usually like that. And if it's a winner, you already have something in it, stick with it. You know what I mean? Stay in it. Don't look for, to put on any, maybe you add to that winner and hone in on the trade, because this is the type of market with the fix and proper rotation. If you're on the right side, stick with it. Don't be trying to catch, don't have FOMO, because with the volatility at this level, you're going to get eaten up at one point. So if it is the winner, stick with the winner. That's all I got to say. Touche. We'll be back.
Stick with winners. Mike Venezia at TradeGATEHub. Follow Mike on Twitter at TVM Trader. And Mike, really enjoyed working with you. Nice trading today. And be in touch in the main chat room.
Yes,
following your ideas.
Tomorrow we have everybody involved. We have a great, it's on the TradeGATEHub site and the TradeView markets about a guest. So everybody do your due diligence and look. So it's a big one. I'm not going to give it to you right away, but it's an advanced, somewhat it's about the VIX, and it's almost like the VIX is like New York. If you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. If you can make money in the VIX, you can make money in anything. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm looking to learning just as much as I'm looking to it's something you really want. By the way, that's a very good analogy. So tune in tomorrow, if you will. As well as every day I'm on at 11. So touche, everyone. Cheers.
On your show, right? Tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern.
You got it. Cheers, everyone.